Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Matchday -1 official press conference with Team Australia. We have with us today Coach Ante Milicic and Team Captain Sam Kerr. As you know, we're using a new interpretation system, so make sure you have downloaded the app for the translation. If you have not downloaded it yet, there's instructions in the room. The languages available today are English, French, and Italian. For photographers, just a quick reminder that it's only for the first 5 minutes, and then we kindly ask you to stop taking photos. If you have a question, please raise your hand, wait for the microphones, say your name, language you're asking the question, who the question is for, and wait for the microphone. Thank you.
Ben McKay, Australian Associated Press. My question is in English to Coach Ante Milicic. Just can we do a health update on Elise Kellen-Knight and Mary Fowler and your plans for them against Italy?
So KK's come through training today, so that's quite pleasing for us. So we'll just have a look this afternoon with the medical staff how she pulls up from the session. But all indications are at this stage that she will be available for selection. And as for Mary, so Mary's felt a little bit of tightness in her hamstring a couple of days ago. So we've gotten some scans for her, and the results are positive. So at this stage, no need to take a risk. So she will not be taking part in the game tomorrow. However, moving forward, she looks in a good place to be available for selection for the second game of the tournament.
Hello, Neil Barker from SNTV. Question for Sam. It's obviously been a tumultuous year for you women in the build-up to this World Cup with a change of coach under kind of murky circumstances and perhaps not the best build-up you'd have liked. I just wondered how the mindset is going into this World Cup, whether you girls are kind of fully focused on it and you think you can do, perform at your best considering the backdrop to this tournament.
Yeah, we're feeling really confident. We feel like we've had a really good lead up to the World Cup. Obviously, the result against Holland wasn't what we wanted, but it was all part of the process. We thought we played good football and, it was a learning curve for us. And we feel like we've had a really good preparation in Turkey, got lots of work in, and everyone's feeling really confident. We've come together really well as a team and, stuff that's happened has only made us closer as a team. So we feel really good about it.
Hello, David Bashir from SBS. A question for Ante. Ante, what specific areas do Australia need to address and improve and execute for their first match against Italy? What areas are you looking for improvement?
We basically will cover all aspects of the game. We'll keep working on our playing style, keep working on our principles. We want to dominate possession, so we'll stick to our way of playing. Obviously, we've conceded a few goals recently, but again, that's areas that we continue to work on. And, as Sam just mentioned, we're really confident with the preparation that we've had. We've put a lot of good work in, and we're fully prepared for tomorrow's game.
Hi, Ben Knight from ABC Australia. Question for Sam in English. I hate to raise it, but it has been in the newspaper in Australia today. Pretty detailed story going over some of the possible reasons why Stadge is not sitting next to you today. This issue is not going to go away until FFA actually explain to anybody why he's not there. So the fact that it's now bobbed up, it hasn't gone away, is that frustrating for you?
I haven't seen the article. We've been, keeping off social media and all that, which is best for me. I think it's all outside noise for us, to be honest. We're focused on our team, we're focused on our game tomorrow, and we know what we have to do to win the World Cup and win this group and win this game tomorrow. So for us, it's more about ourselves. Obviously, we can't control everything, so we've just got to focus on what we can control, and the only thing we can control is on the field. So that's all we're focused on.
Ante, what do you think of Italy? What are you expecting from them tomorrow?
Expecting a very difficult game. I think they're probably one of the most improved teams in women's football. They see the big clubs in Italy have invested a lot in the women's game. I've personally seen the majority of their squad play live, so I understand the investment that they've made. I think individually they're very strong. Tactically they're flexible, very strong on set pieces. So we fully respect our opposition, and we know that we're going to have to be at our best tomorrow to perform and to get a result from the game.
Kieran Pender from The Guardian in English. A question for Samantha. Italy, a very strong defensive team. I think they conceded just 4 goals in qualification. How confident are you of getting on the score sheet tomorrow?
Yeah, we're always confident when we go into games. I think, when we play our football, we have one of the best forward lines in the world. And look, they're a strong team. We've watched a little bit of film, but we always just focus on ourselves. And every game we go into, we're confident that we can score. And it's not very often that we get kept to 0 goals. So hopefully tomorrow everyone's on their game and everyone can play their part and the goals are flowing. But by no means do we think it's going to be easy. We're well up for the challenge.
Michelle Escobar from Optus Sport. Ante, what do you think is Italy's biggest threat?
The front two that they have, very strong players. They work well together, a lot of combination play. I think they've got options in that area as well. You see the quality of Sabatini, of Mauro as well. 2 players that I rate very highly, and also, supporting them, Chornea with the left foot, and also Bonacea as well, with the right, her forward runs, her speed, the way she dribbles. As I've mentioned, I've seen these quality and I've seen it live. So, I think going forward, they're very smart players, very intelligent. You can see that they're proper footballers. But again, in general, I think the way that they keep their shape, very disciplined, very organised side. And again, it's one that we've prepared for, well, and we're looking forward to a strong game tomorrow.
Question for Sam Kerr, Sam David Bashir from SBS. You've never scored at a World Cup. It's probably the only thing you haven't achieved in football. How much is that personal goal driving you? And a second part to that question, the leadership qualities that you bring to the team and perhaps that you expect Australia needs to get to the latter part of this tournament.
Yeah, every time I step on the field, I want to score for my country. But to do it in a World Cup would be a dream come true. Like you said, I haven't done that, but I feel like I'm a different player this World Cup. I feel like I'm a different person. I feel like I'm better prepared. I know more about the game. I know more about my own game. And I feel like I'm just smarter. So, look, if I don't score and we win the World Cup, I'm going to be happy. It's not about me this World Cup. It's about the team. And I hope to, add some goals on the scoreboard. But if I don't, the win tomorrow is the most important thing.
From Fox Sports. Ante mentioned after the Netherlands game that it was quite difficult to get Caitlin Ford on the ball, to get her involved. We know that you've got a group of forwards that can play out wide, can be more central as well. Is there anything that you've had to tweak in particular, knowing what you're going to have to do in terms of breaking down Italy?
We always approach every game differently depending on the opposition. But again, looking at our qualities, and you must understand as well, with the Netherlands game, it was a different type of opponent. It was a friendly game. So, we've always had the Italian game in the back of our mind and how we're going to set up. So we're quite fortunate that we do have a couple of options there in the front third. And, we've worked on a few different things during the week at training, and, looking forward to see how that plays out tomorrow.
Australian Associated Press. Sam, have you thought about what it might mean to walk out as captain of Australia at a World Cup?
Oh, now it's working. Yeah, I have. To be honest, the first time I did it in Sydney, I didn't really think about it. I guess when I finally was about to walk out, I was in the tunnel. This, I guess nervousness came upon me, and it was a really proud moment. But it's going to be a special moment for me, leading the girls out. Anytime you get the opportunity to do that, it's a massive honour. But the most important thing for me is that I feel the support of the girls, and having that feeling walking out in front of those 10 other players is, you can't really explain it. But to be at my third World Cup's going to be amazing. But just focusing on the game, hopefully not the tunnel.
Neve Owens, Optus Sports. Sam, watching the game last night and a couple of cracking goals and then strolling around the deck here, how are the competitive juices feeling a day out from the game?
Yeah, we're really excited. I think last night's game was a good game. Obviously, France dominated. But it gave us that little buzz to want to win tomorrow and compete in front of a big crowd. I know all our family and friends are going to be out there and the whole of Australia is going to be watching. So, like I said, anytime you get to represent your country, it's an amazing honour. And you could tell today the girls were excited. There was a buzz around training and it was a bit of fun too. So we've been waiting for this moment for 4 years now, and the last few months has been, I guess, slower than ever waiting for this day. So it's finally here.
Question for Ante. Michael Lynch from the Sydney Morning Herald and the Melbourne Age. You've been to World Cups with the men's team. You're now in charge of the women. Do you detect any difference other than the obvious one of gender? Is there a difference in mindset, build-up, the feeling in the camp, and how you go about it?
A lot of similarities, to be honest, Michael. We're Australian. We're proud Australians that are looking forward to showing ourselves on the world stage as footballers and as people. So, like I said, I'm really happy with the preparation. There is a similarity. Both the men's and the women's team that I've been part of had our pre-training camp in Turkey. Thought that was a very good base for us. We got a lot of good work in there. We had a good variation as well when it comes to work and recovery. So I'm happy with how the preparation has gone. And, these girls have been fantastic, and they're really looking forward for the game tomorrow.
Kieran Pender from The Guardian. Question for both. How are you finding the atmosphere in France with the Women's World Cup? Is it exciting? Have you had a chance to see Valenciennes? Do you feel a buzz here and elsewhere?
I think anywhere in Europe they love football, so you can feel the buzz around the city. We haven't actually gone down to the city centre, but a few of us walked down to the little area near our hotel the other day, and everyone knew I was there. Driving on the bus, we've seen a few Italian fans around that have waved their shirts at us. It's just Europe for you. There's a buzz around, and that's why we love playing here. There's a different feel, and so far so good for us.
Bonjour, pour la télévision française, une petite question sur les infrastructures depuis que vous êtes arrivé dans la région. Hormis la météo, tout vous plaît?
About the weather, actually. It's supposed to be summer here, huh? Look, very, very happy, to be honest, the way the city has accepted us and welcomed us, the hotel, the facilities, the people, the vibe we're getting, very, very comforting, and everyone has a really good feeling about this World Cup. This as a host city, just even coming out onto the stadium today, very fantastic stadium, modern as well. So, and most importantly, the pitch looks to be in good condition. And we always say, as an Australian team, that's the main focus is on its football. So when you provide a surface like that, I think the girls are really going to look forward to playing on it tomorrow.
François Grouet pour Valenciennois Info. Alors en français, c'est la première fois que vous jouez aujourd'hui ici à Valenciennes. Est-ce que vous étiez bien accueillis par les habitants de Valenciennes?
Yeah, like I said, everyone's been really nice. French people are always very nice, and the hotel staff where we've been have been amazing. and like I said, people around the town have been really nice and welcoming. And I think the World Cup is also an amazing place to meet different people from different cities. And yeah, we've really enjoyed it so far. All the staff have been great too.
Just pick up on something you said earlier. It's Michael Lynch again from the Melbourne Age and Sydney Morning Herald. Ante, you referred to the fact that you shipped a lot of goals, 8 in the last 2 games. You've been working on them. Could you just give us some idea of how you might have looked to shore up your defence so that you don't find yourself in this position again?
A couple of different ways, Michael, that we look to shore up the defence, but we defend collectively as a team. Again, different opponents have different styles and different ways of playing. So obviously the last 2 games, yes, we've conceded goals against that type of opponent, that kind of style. However, at the same time, you must remember they're friendly games, and that was the time where we decided to try a few things where we always said that it was all about working on our principles. And I feel very comfortable with the work that we've done, in the last week particular that we've looked to address those issues, and very confident that tomorrow that you'll see the team, playing well, and also with the defensive part of the game.
Hi, Neil Barker again from SNTV. Another one for Sam. We were speaking to Lisa yesterday. She said something you referenced earlier about the potency of your strike force. She thinks it's good enough to win you the World Cup. Would you go that far? Are you one of the favourites, would you say?
Oh, look, I think we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We've got the first game to win first and get out of the group, and the World Cup, crazy things have happened. So we're really focused on this first game, getting the first few points. Look, we're really confident in ourselves that we can go as far as we've ever been, and our plan is to make the final, but our focus is the first game. We can't start thinking about quarterfinals, round of 16, all of that until we've won this first game, won the second game, and then dealt with the third. So, look, I totally agree with what Lisa's saying, but first game is the focus.
One for Sam. It's a big weekend this weekend for women's sport in France. So Ash Barty's playing this afternoon. Has there been much interest in the French Open final with Ash Barty, and will the girls be watching it this afternoon?
There was a bit of interest yesterday, obviously, with Rafa and Nadal playing and then Ash winning. But, yeah, all the girls were pretty pumped on the bus. There was a few tweets going around, talk of getting together and watching it. But that's an Australian thing, anytime there's an Aussie in it, you go for them. And we wish Ash all the best. Hopefully she can go and win it, and it would be an amazing thing for her to win it first time ever winning the French Open. So it's just an Aussie thing, getting behind Aussies, I feel like.
Michael Lynch again. Question for Sam this time. Sam, you are the absolute sort of fulcrum of this team in terms of the media attention, the broadcast attention. All the pressure is on you. There's massive expectation in Australia, not just on the team, but for you to go out and dominate a World Cup. Is that unfair, and do you feel that pressure?
To be honest, the most pressure I feel is from myself. I put a lot of pressure on myself to score goals, to not let the team down, to have an impact. And I try not to listen to all that type of talk about myself. I try and keep it mostly about the team, but obviously, there's going to be a bit of pressure on me. I felt a little bit more, I guess, interest from other players and other teams that I've played in recently, but I see that as a positive for our team. If people are worried about me, then we have Caitlin Ford, we have Hayley Rasso, Lisa Davana, take your pick. There's, 5 others you could name that can open up defences. But, I think it's good for the women's game. I think it's good for the game in Australia, and, I really see it as a positive.
Well, thank you so much. As you know, the familiarization will start at 1 o'clock, so find your positions according to your media access. Thank you so much.